Have you ever wondered? It almost feels like it's intentional sometimes.
I be saying this on the show all the time about how we should build cities differently, and how like the way we build cities is to benefit like these corporations. You know what I mean? And it's not to benefit humans, people. And we don't have to build the cities the way we build cities. Like, okay, I'm missing a comment. How long ago was it? 141, about 20 minutes. I'm sorry. It says send your kids to school in China. They way smarter. I know. I guess if you have enough money to do that, I guess you could. But for most of us, that's just not an option. The way they build cities, they don't have to build cities the way that they build cities. And this is a thing. And I saw a story about high-speed rail coming to Texas. And I hope they do it and they do it well. I mean, like people were talking about the triangle, do like a trilateral high-speed rail that connects three major cities or whatever in Texas. It's a lot of things that we can do differently. We don't have to build the cities so car dependent. You got these people who complain about being in traffic every day, but then when you talk about high speed rails, they're like, oh no, we can't do that. We can't be like other countries or whatever their excuses are. It's too late. I mean, they got a list of excuses of reasons why we can't do this, but then they turn around and complain about being in traffic. And we know that building bigger, wider freeways isn't the answer. We got the biggest, widest freeway in the world right here, not far from my house. I drive it every day. And guess what? I'm in traffic every effing day. It's just more cars filled in the space. It's too many cars. Nothing you could do with this many cars. Everybody has like 2 and 3 cars. Each household. That's too many cars.
Have you ever wondered why the suburbs are so car dependent? It almost feels like it's intentional sometimes because I have an example that feels so obviously wrong but would be super easy to fix, and it all has to do with connectivity. This is crazy to me because this apartment complex is built right next to a grocery store. Both good things and could easily be walkable, but it isn't. If you lived in this apartment and wanted to get groceries, you would have to walk over a half mile, despite it being literally 400 feet away. All it would have taken is a small path for these trees. But instead, this is what it looks like. I guess technically you could trek through the woods, but this is in Florida and you never know what kind of creatures could be hiding in there. Meanwhile, these houses are only a quarter mile away, but there's no crosswalk to cross this 4-lane road, and the next one is down at this roundabout, making it nearly a mile walk. A sidewalk and crosswalk would give all of these people in these houses a way to walk or bike not just to this grocery store, but to all of the other stores and restaurants over here, and not have to drive. Suburbs are often built in pieces that don't make up something whole, and this is why it exists like this. They weren't trying to make a convenient and connected neighborhood here. They were trying to make a subdivision, an apartment complex, and a shopping center, all separate things you can get to by driving. Have you ever wondered why the suburbs are so car dependent? It almost feels like it's intentional sometimes because I have an example.
It's not almost seems like it's intentional. It's clearly intentional. It's clearly intentional. And then it's another thing related to the class, racial kind of, animosity, because there's neighborhoods here in Houston that you have to have a car if you live there. So people that don't have as much money, they don't have a car, living in those neighborhoods is all the way off their agenda. Like they can't do it. We do have buses, but they're not as efficient as they could be. And they don't go to certain areas don't have any buses at all. That's it. And it's like I say, it's intentional, it's they don't want it to have accessibility, it's to separate people, people who have lower incomes, they don't have a car, they can't access these areas. Simple as that, So how much are we willing to suffer so that poor people, don't have things, How much do we spend on gas? How much time do we spend in our car commuting? How much of your life have you spent in your car? Think about that. You got people in other countries, they can get where they're going in minutes. They might have to do a little bit of walking, but that's good for your health. That's good for your body. You know, I like the phrase the internet is saying, touch grass. People are saying that, touch grass. I really like that. It's awesome. They're like, you need to touch grass, bro. And it's like a lot of us don't ever touch grass. We go from our car to the place that we're going and back to our car again. And then we walk around our house or apartment to our freaking refrigerator, you know? That's why we're so overweight and diabetes and all of this. You know, we have to go to the gym, right? So you got to pay for gym memberships, or you pay for a treadmill or something to be in your house or whatever. But all of this could be avoided from natural walking. Just a little bit of walking from getting off of your train to get to your destination. Like, but see, again, you're going to be on the train with all these folks that you don't want to be around. You don't want to see them, you know. And this isolation, this separation is what it's like what old girl was saying in the video, that is the feedback loops, you know, the prejudices that we have, the racial biases that we have, or even the economic biases that we have. These people are poor, they're lazy, or whatever. A lot of this stuff, they're just criminals. A lot of that stuff, we wouldn't be able to believe that. We wouldn't be able to think that way if we were around these people, but we get separated from them. So all we get is the representation on the TV, the media, whatever, and which is biased. And then we come to these conclusions that support our prejudices that we already have been holding on to. You know, being around other people of different economic backgrounds and being diversity is good, you know, and at the very least, it'll lead you to the understanding that these people are just like you. They're not different, you know, but no, they don't want to be on the same train with black, brown, poor people. Ew, it's dirty. Comment says, if places are designed in a way that make it hard to walk and easy to drive, people are going to be incentivized to drive. So look, this is what I say too all the time on the show. It's like systems manage people. People manage systems. So the people create a system that incentivizes people to drive. They could create systems that incentivize people to walk, and it will be good for everyone, you know, but they make more money off of people driving. You drive right into these damn drive-through. We're always so busy. We all don't have much time because we spent half our day in traffic. That's how we end up in these damn drive-through fast food restaurants. Feedback loops. So you're already unhealthy from not walking, and now you stressed out, which causes you to be less healthy, and you don't have time to prepare a healthy meal. So you go and get fast food, which leads to you to be even more unhealthy. So you got the Food and Drug Administration who works together. The Food and Drug Administration is supposed to be what regulates them. But what I'm trying to say is the agricultural industry, industry, and the pharmaceutical industry work hand in hand. Okay, so you know, you're more sick, you get to buy more drugs or whatever to try to make you feel better. You know, it's good for the healthcare system too. You know, the hospitals, the doctors, the dentists, everybody's making more money off of you being unhealthy. Because that's all they really care about is profit over people, exponential growth. More money, more money, more money. You know, I think that's what the focus needs to be, is that we change the way we think about these things. Like, it shouldn't be profit in everything. And at the very least, you shouldn't put profit over people. There's always going to be ways to make money, you know, but if that's the main driver for everything, for everyone, then you're going to have these results that we have. This, you have the world. The world that we have is as a result of this idea of exponential growth, of find a way to make more profit. You know, the ethics of it be damned. Another comment says Europeans will walk. We would even create our own path through the woods. Americans will take the car for 300 meters. That's because we're programmed. I think that's true, but we're programmed though. Another one that says maybe it's because not everyone wants to live right next to busy shopping centers. There you go, making freaking excuses. No, you don't have to have busy shopping centers. You can have a little, you can have just a grocery store, just the things that you need, like you need a pharmacy, you need a grocery store. What else? I mean, that's all you really need to be in your neighborhood, I would say, as far as businesses. I mean, I don't know. You definitely don't need a busy shopping center next to your neighborhood for your neighborhood to be viable and you walk to it. So there goes your excuses. People always make excuses like this is the only way that things can be done. You're not facing reality that they're screwing over you, bro. You want to be in traffic, basically. That comment just pissed me off. There's 100 replies. I must not have been the only one that got triggered. It says, did that stop the grocery store from being built beside the subdivision? Nah. Now you have a store and a house separated by roads when you could have connected them with paths. Is logic illegal in America? Another comment says, I don't understand how this was your takeaway, but telling you. It says, they live next to one, LMAO. Yeah, that dude's comment was stupid. It says, plus who is paying for this path and maintenance? The house builders is only there for you to buy the house, and the plaza or mall only there to make money off your purchases. Well, I mean, that's kind of a fair thing to say, who's paying for the path and the maintenance. Well, look, they could have just been thinking about people and built it, but let's say they didn't. We pay homeowners association fees. They're supposed to be building parks and sidewalks and stuff. This is money that you have to pay. Shouldn't it go towards stuff that you would benefit you in your neighborhood? Well, what problem would anybody have with the homeowners association paying for the path and maintenance? They're like, we build parks. It's like, there's only so many parks you can build in the neighborhood. There's only so many parks you can build in the neighborhood. Once you built the sidewalks, then what? We still paying homeowners association fees every month. They find something useful to do with that freaking money. It says, who wants to walk or ride a bicycle to a store on Florida weather anyways? There goes the damn excuses. It's beautiful weather in Florida all the time. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Florida has beautiful weather. That's why people retire there. Like, what are you trying to say? Like, you know, I guess you trying to say, you know, you got to carry a bunch of stuff. But if the grocery store is right nearby, then you don't have to get a bunch of stuff. You can go there every other day. One bag on your bicycle, enjoy the weather, enjoy the view, get a little bit of exercise, get some fresh air. That sounds like a win-win-win. Spend some time with the kids or your dog. Another comment says, so how do we fix this sort of situation? 300 replies. Well, you fix the situation by building the cities differently, you know, having different motivations for doing it. But see, the corporations run the show here in the United States. So the building it this way is good for the oil and gas folks. It's good for the car manufacturers. Like I say, it's good for agriculture and the pharmaceutical industry. They all benefit from this stuff being like this. So you think that they don't have incentives to make sure that things are this way, and they influence Congress, they influence your representatives, they write the damn bills, like they probably, you know, influence how the city came about the planning for this every step of the way. And we just like unplugged, scrolling on TikTok or whatever, like watching our streaming show or whatever. And they're planning your whole ass life while you sitting there freaking watching TV or whatever, playing video games. It says it almost feels like it's intentional sometimes. It's absolutely intentional. Another one, it says, and why should I carry my grocery bags if I can put them in my car? I mean, go ahead, put them in your car and sit in freaking hours of traffic and enjoy that shit. Let's see some replies on this one. It says, geez, the way you people think is outrageous. You have shopping trolleys and carts for home. Here in Spain, it's all connected and every family has a small shopping cart. Move your butts and stop driving everywhere. Yeah, the way things are here, the shopping carts don't even go outside of the parking lot. They have a protection mechanism on them to like keep people from taking them out of the parking lot. So they lock up once you leave too far away from the store, you know, and they're like, oh, the bums are just going to use them for homes or whatever the hell they think. And it's like, it's just like, it's a selfishness. It's a really shitty way of thinking. Some grocery stores purposely don't put that stuff on their carts because they know that it helps people who are elderly. They can't drive. What about the people who can't drive, y'all? What about those folks, right? They can't see very well, you know, they're older, they have anxiety, you know, maybe they just don't have money for a car. What about those folks, you know? And like I say, some grocery stores think about these people, and that's the reason why they don't put those protection mechanisms on their carts. And they just they go around the neighborhood and go, because they never end up too far away. There was a Fiesta that was near where I used to live, and they did that. And I saw them. There's a truck that would drive around and go picking up the carts from out of the. They were just going to end up in apartment complexes at the bus stops and stuff like that. So people got their bags, and then they want to carry them all, and they push the basket to their apartment or to the bus stop or whatever, and they leave the basket there. So then the grocery store just goes and retrieves them. But it's like a service. It's like a service for the community. And what is wrong with having services for the community? And people are like, well, you can't make no money off of doing that. Well, everything has to be about making money. It says, but why would I use a cart and not a car? I don't like moderation. What if I want to go to multiple places? What if it's raining outside? Cars are just better and more convenient. Not to mention, I'm enjoying driving a lot. What a freaking brainwashed idiot. Like, okay, like some of it makes sense as far as raining outside. Like nobody wants to be rained on your way to the grocery store or on your way back or whatever. And that's fair, you know. The people that ride the trains a lot or whatever, they're prepared for the rain, you know. You make sure you have like a raincoat or some boots, umbrella, whatever. You know, it sucks to try to hold the umbrella while you're carrying groceries, though. So I get it. You know, that's a fair argument there. But he says, not to mention, I'm enjoying driving a lot. You enjoy sitting in traffic, bro? Another reply to this, it says, because you are the only one going to the shopping mall, and everyone else going there can and should drive cars. What about kids? What about disabled people? They can all just F themselves, or they have to get someone to drive them around. That's what freedom is to Americans, apparently. That's what the argument people make all the time about the cars. It's like, you're going to take my freedom away by building trains. Like, take your freedom away, bro. Like, Your freedom to be in traffic, huh? You want to be free to be in traffic. That's that argument they make all the time. Whenever you make a common sense argument for improvements in the world, like progressivism, they say you trying to take our freedom away, or they say communism.